All right, so this is my video to help with that 5.2 evaluating expressions quiz in progress learning. So this has to do with that progress learning, that substitution of variables. So in this example, it told you that x is -2 and that y is 3. So when something is like that, that means that wherever you see an x, you can substitute this -2 in for it. So what I mean by that is in this equation that it gave you, wherever you see an x, okay, here's an x, you can put in -2. So I'm going to exchange the x for -2. All I did was, again, turn the x into -2. I put it in parentheses just because it has a negative sign, but technically you don't have to do that. I just like parentheses around. You don't have to though. But I just changed that x to a -2. I didn't change this to the second power because that's a different thing. All I did was I changed the x. Then we have plus y. So we have this plus sign, and then instead of writing y, it says, well, y equals 3. Perfect. So I'm going to put a 3 here. So the first part of it is just substituting. So wherever I saw an x, I put a -2 because it told me that. And wherever I saw a y, I put a 3. So now we just use our order of operations, which is why we learned this first, to go ahead and simplify this expression. So I don't have any parentheses or grouping symbols, but I do, the next step in your PEMDAS, or I'm sorry, it's GEMDAS now. um, the next step would be exponents, and I do have exponents. I have -2 to the second power. Okay, well, all this is -2 to the second power. Remember, this number, this -2, is the one being multiplied to itself this many times. So it's going to multiply to itself 2 times. So -2 times -2. We're going way back all the way to our integer rules, okay? This is a heavy step. Multiply them together and then worry about the signs. 2 times 2 is 4. And if the signs match, your answer is going to be positive. So -2 squared is actually a positive 4. Then all we have to do is bring down our plus 3. And then according to PEMDAS, it's 4 plus 3, which would be 7. All right, so let's do the next one. So in this case, again, x and y did not change. X is still -2 and y is still 3. So if it helps, sometimes I do, all right, wherever I have an x, I am going to change it to something. And then this is 2. I mean, if you, okay, let's think about this for a second. This is x plus 2xy. This is that coefficient situation. So if you do not have an operation in between them, they are being multiplied. So this is technically 2 times x times y. So it's 2 times x times y. So now we can worry about substitution. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a -2. -2, -2. All I did was change these x's to -2's. Now wherever I see a y, I'm going to put a 3. So instead of this y, I'm going to put a 3. And then everything else I'm just going to bring down like normal. All right, so now we follow our GEMDAS here. So GEMDAS, I don't have grouping symbols. Even though I know those are parentheses, they're multiplication. I don't have exponents, multiplication or division. So in this case, I actually have it twice. I have 2 times -2, and I have -2 times 3. So which one do we do first? Well, according to our notes, we do them from left to right. So in this case, these should go first. So I'm not going to touch anything else. 2 times -2 is -4. And the reason why is because you do 2 times 2, which is 4, and they have opposite signs. So if their signs don't match, it's negative. And if you need those notes, those are into your, that's your integer rules poster. That was in module 1. Told you I'd be using it a lot. All right, so we still can't do, we're still in the multiplication or division because now we have multiplication again. So negative 4 times 3. Well, let's do 4 times 3, which is 12. And then if their signs don't match, it's a negative answer. So now we have negative 12 plus negative 2. So according to my integer rules, okay, if we're doing addition and subtraction, if the signs are the same, add as normal and keep the sign. Again, if you need to review those integer rules, they are located in your content. And it's a integer rules poster. I really recommend you print it. We will be using integer rules the rest of the year, so this is a good review. All right, and the last one for the video is this situation. So we have 3, I'm going to break it down, times x squared times y minus x. So 3 times x squared times y minus x. Okay, so I'm going to keep the 3, but wherever I see an x, I'm going to change it to negative 2. So that turns into negative 2 squared. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to make it 3. And then wherever I see an x again, I'm going to make it negative 2. So this one's probably the hardest one in the bunch. That's why I was like, oh, I gotta make sure I do this in my video. This is a lot of steps, and we really have to be confident with our order of operations to do this. All right, so I need more room. So I'm gonna write this up here. So we have 3 times negative 2 squared times 3 minus negative 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and do GEMDAS. So grouping symbols. I know we have parentheses here, but there's not an operation inside of them, so this is must mean multiplication. So that's done. Exponents. So let's do exponents. So negative 2 squared is negative 2 times itself 2 times. So that's 2 times 2, which is 4, and then the signs don't match, so it's going to be a negative, or I'm sorry, they do match. So it's going to be a positive answer. So this turns into 4 times 3 minus negative 2. Sweet. All the exponents are done. Now we have multiplication or division from left to right. So our first step is to do this one. It's the first multiplication we see, the multiplication or division. 3 times 4 is 12. And I'm going to bring down everything else. Okay, we have another multiplication, 12 times 3, which is 36, minus negative 2. Okay, so when we are in this situation, if we have a minus negative, we are taking this 36 and subtracting a negative number. This, how it works, is actually going to counteract itself. And so if we have a minus, so we have 36 minus negative 2. When you have a minus negative, they're going to go ahead and change everything. So this is going to turn into a plus positive. Again, this is way back in module 1, so we probably may need a review. But we want to do that keep, change, change. So we keep this number, change to a positive, and change this one to a positive as well. So again, it's that keep, change, change, what you do. And if you use those integer rules, it goes right back into, it'll show you that on the top right in that section. So now let's just think, 36 plus 2 would be 38. Again, this is really pushing your limits on the thing that we're changing now. You already have confidence in your GEMDAS. You already know how to do order of operations. You also already know your integer rules. So that is something. Now, if you need to review your integer rules, those will be back in those integer notes from the first semester. And actually, I can pause it. I'll show you. So this is that integer rules poster that I was telling you about. So if we need a review on that, when I told you it was subtraction, that's that keep, change, change. When we were multiplying and dividing, that's the whole same sign, positive answer, different sign, negative answer. So that is all for you there. So when it comes to this, we already know GEMDAS, we already know our integer rules. Now we're just using those foundational skills to substitute. So the new thing about this week is this part only. It's when you're changing a variable to a number. Again, a variable is something that it's supposed to be a number that we don't know. So what I am telling you is, well, let's go ahead and try this number and then see what you get. So that's the whole purpose of called evaluating expressions. I hope this video was helpful. You're welcome to go ahead and rewind it and pause it, but it's all here for you.